So the first thing we need to do is to move to the contact controller and add the function. So here, so this function will, so what we'll do, it will search for contacts by name, okay? So public function get contacts by search or by let's use by name, okay, or find let's add here find instead of find contacts by name, and here we will receive the request and the request will contain name, okay. And what else we need? So we need here first to define the variable, and we need to get the contact using the where, and we check for the name is equal to the request. So not so request, where is it? So request name. And what else we need to do? We need to get also where, so we need also these contacts to be of or the contacts of the currently logged in user, okay. So where the name is equal to the request name, and also where so let's add here an array and user ID, or we can do something let's instead of doing it like this, let's do here, let's add here array. So let's add here array, and here, as I said, name is name, and also here, so now we can add the user ID. So instead of adding two wheres, okay, so here the user ID, and the user ID we can get it using auth user ID, okay. And what else we need? So we need to get the paginate, and we paginate only, so we don't have so if we have the same name, so let's just get so let's get only, or let's do something, let's change it to, because if the user, for example, he forgot the name and he remember only the first name, so we will not get the results, okay. So he need like here, so if we have here mark and for example something else, and he remember only mark and he search for mark, so we need to get all the contacts that has the first name which is mark, okay. So let's change it and use so instead of using the request like this, so let's use like and concatenate it with the percentage, which means starting or ending with the, so here we will receive search, so the query here, so we will receive the query like this, so we will receive for example like this name, and name will be here mark, okay. So we don't need to use the request, as you can see here, so the request name, so we need to use the request query, and query will have search term or the name, okay, which is the name. So we will send the search term from front end, okay. So as I told you, so we will have like this, so we will have search term, and for example search term equal to mark, okay. So we need to get its search term from here, so to get it you need to use the query instead of directly access the name, okay. So the name we can get it from the forum, so here we are using the URL param, so we need to use the query to get the param, and as I said, starting or ending with the search term, and also here the user ID is same as the currently logged in user, and here we add, now we can add paginate, and we paginate then users. Okay, so now we are done what we need to do. So the only thing we need to return same thing, so we return the contacts to the index page, and here let's change it to contacts. We have already defined variable here. Okay, so now we are done with the function. So what we need to add the routes. So let's copy from here and paste here. So this one will be get request, and we can let's change it here to search contacts, and let's copy, where is it? So let's copy the name of the method from here and use it here. Okay, find contacts by name. Okay, and here we have the contacts controller, and that's all. Okay, so let's save and see, but we need to do something. Let's give this name. So let's give it name for this route. Let's make it search or find contacts. So now we are done with function and also with the route. So next, now we need to move to the front end. So here we need to add the form and display it here. And once the user clicks on once the user search for a name and hit submit, so we need to display the found contacts. Okay, so let's do that now. So to do that, let's move to the front end. So here inside components contacts, let's add a new file and call it let's call it find contacts.view. Okay, and here let's add the structure and remove this and add setup here, and also here we need the scooped. Okay, so here we need to add the form. Let's add div with the flex and or let's add form, not div. So let's make it form. Also here form, and inside this form, so let's add div with the flex, and so here let's add the flex and align items to center. And I think we don't need this class here, so let's add only submit. So submit, add submit dot prevent. So we'll add the call to the function and we will name it find contacts. So here let's see what we have. So let's organize the code. So here inside the div, let's add div with form group. And what else we need? We need an input with type which is text. And let's give it, so I think we don't need name and ID. So we need only the placeholder, and the placeholder will be search. And what else we need? So we need so we will link it to a property that we will create later inside the form, which is search term that we will send to the backend. Okay, and we need also a class, and class let's give it form control, and also what else we need? We need border, and also border light and border 4. Okay, border light and border 4. So now we are done with input. So what we need else? We need submit button. Okay, So let's add another div here and give it form. So we don't. So I think the form group doesn't exist anymore. Just I forgot to remove it. So here we need the margin bottom 3 and also here the margin bottom 3. Okay. So I forgot that the form group doesn't exist anymore. Okay, and let's give here mx1. And what else we need? We need a button, and the button is submit. So where is it? So it's submit. And here let's add so we need to add only the icon, which is the fast search. So what else we need here? So we need this button to be disabled if we don't have a search term. Let's first add the class. Class is beta n sm beta n dark. And as I said, this button needs to be disabled if the form, or if we don't have the form.search term. So we don't have form yet. So we will add it. Okay, so next what we need, so we need to import the use form from Inertia. Okay, so from Inertia view tree. And here we need to define the objects or the form objects. So we have here the use form. And the use form will contain, as we said, search term, and search term will be an empty string. So let's add here define form object, and what else we have here? So we have here so we have the function. So we need to add the find contact function. Okay, so let's add here const find contacts, and we need to use the routes that we have already defined. So let's first use the form dot. So since this is a get request, so we used get, and we add the route, and the route is the route that we have defined here. So what is the name? Find contacts. Okay, let's copy from here and use it here. Okay, and save. So now we are done. So all we need to do is to display the form in navbar. Okay, so let's move to the navbar and import first the component. So import. So what is the name? So it's find contacts. Okay, and we can get it from so it's same. I think it's the same folder. So not the same folder, but inside layouts. So not layout, inside contacts. So let's go back to the contacts, and here we have to find contacts. Okay, so let's add it. So we can add it here. Copy and paste and close components to save. Let's take a look. So as you can see, we have here search. Okay, but I think that as you can see here, it's not so I think that I was right when I have here the class which is the flex. Okay, so let's save and see what we have now. So I think it's the same. Why it's the same? So let's see. So here the button, so the margin. So let's remove this margin bottom. So I think we don't need it. So save. So I think it's the same. So nothing changed. Okay. So let's first check if search is working or not, and then we fix this problem. So let's, for example, search for Bob and hit the button. So I think that's the button is the type is submit. Why it's not working? So I think we have something wrong. Let's inspect and see. So we have here So we have here the console. So the route find contacts is not in the route list. So I think it's already added. Why it's not? So here is it. Find contacts. So let's go back here. So what is the name that we have here? So find contacts. So I think that's the problem. Is the one that I told you before. So we need to run the page partition optimize to clear the cache. Okay, so if you face this kind of problems, as I told you before, just run this command and it will work. So let's search now for Bob and no contacts found. Why no contacts found and we have Bob? So let's try and search for Carl. So hit the button and same thing. And I think that we need to go back to the controller. So I think that's the problem is here. So let's do something. So I think that's like this is not working. So let's do something. Let's remove the array from here and remove this from here and use another where. So it's the same thing as I have done before. So let's add now the second where, and here we need to do the same thing. So here let's move this down just to be clear for you. So here we don't have an array, and here we are searching. Let's remove this, and we are searching if the name is like, so the approach that I have done is not working. So we need to use it like this. So name with the comma and like and another comma and then search term. Okay, so this approach did not work. So I thought it will work. So it did not work. Okay, so save. Let's refresh again. So now we are searching for Carl. So as you can see, we have Carl. So that was the problem. So let's search, for example, for Bob and submit. And as you can see, we have now Bob. Okay. Let's add another contact. Let's add, for example, let's add the same. So we can use the same. Can use the same phone here, the same job, country, submit. So let's for now search only for B and see if we will get. So as you can see, we have Bob and Bob. Okay. So now we are done with search. So the problem was here. So we have fixed this problem. So let's move to the home page, and I think we are done with our application. So if you want, so here I forgot this problem. So let's fix this problem that we have here. So here we have the mistake. So it's not a mistake, just emit sometimes doesn't work. So align items to the center. So let's save and see again. So now it's okay, but we need to remove, let's remove this class that has the margin bottom and keep only. So let's see. So now it's fixed. Okay. So I think that's all for searching. So let's try to search for something that doesn't exist. And no contacts found. Okay, so now we are done, as I told you, with our application. Let's add just fonts to our application, and to do that, we will use this font, which is so origami. So you can search for it inside Google Fonts, and once you have it here, just copy the link and let's use it. So we can use it inside. So let's go to the app.play.php and let's use it here. So here is our. our font. So now we will see no change, but we need to add it to our body, and let's do something. So if we add this, let's move to the CSS file here and see. So I think here the fonts. So if we can, I think, let's see what we have here. So the blades, so here the views, the view, and here we are importing the tailwind, and here we have the theme. So let's do something. So let's add here, let's move to the website here. So we have, let's copy this code from here. Only let's copy from, let's only get the fonts family. And let's use it here. So I think just we add a style here, and we add the body, and for the body let's give it the font family that we have here. Let's see what we have. So I think now it's better, as you can see. Okay, so now we can add, edit, and delete contacts. We can also add contacts to our favorites list, and also you can search for contacts. We can order contacts by name from A to Z, or from Z to A, and also we can add contacts to our favorites, remove from our favorites, and also we can register and log in and log out. So that's all for this application. I hope you did enjoy it. If yes, so then subscribe to the channel to see more projects like this. Okay, and see you in my next projects.